Good morning, everyone. It's the Patient Hodler coming at you with another live stream, and this one is the first ever in the morning, as I wanted to try out this format and take a little bit of a look into the beginning of the week with some news where we are with the economy, with Ecomi, with NFTs, and everything that is happening around Ecomi and Veve. So Veve Arcade already in the chat, probably not a lot of you guys already here, but we will see how this develops. I hope everyone has their coffees ready. I'm really sorry for the delay, almost 10 minutes late today, because I had everything prepared for the night, or at the night, basically, everything prepared to look at with you. A lot of things from Twitter, a lot of articles. Now in the morning, I start the notebook, come on, and the browser is crashing all the time with my StreamYard here, because I have to do it with only one screen at the moment, as the living room on the other side is still in construction. PC is there. So yeah, that's what happened. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping before we start. Please keep in mind, I'm a crypto and NFT investor, not your financial advisor. So please do your own research before you ape full degen into the Ecomi token, the Veve collectibles, Bitcoin, altcoins, or whatever other investment opportunity that we are talking about here. And also make sure from now on for the mornings to have your coffee ready here, locked and load. Also make sure to drop a like on the live stream so that the algorithm knows that this is worth watching. And let's start here. So good morning, Motili. Good to see you. Blaze13 here, LFG, love the time, works for AU. That's, what is that? Australia, right? So yeah, then greetings over there. Night over here in California, morning for you, works for me. That's great. That's great to know. Actually, more people here than I expected for that first one in the morning. Veve Arcade also there. It's 11 p.m. for me. Oh, okay. So you are pretty late, but it's still okay for 1 hour, I believe. Okay, so let's get this stuff started. And actually, guys, I have tried to open some of the things here on the side that I wanted to talk with you. And I will quickly share my screen here with the initial news that we wanted to go over. That are, first of all, I think we should look at the broader situation that we have right now. Let me just share my screen. Actually, I have to add my screen here at StreamYard again. I can I share every okay, I can share the entire thing here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so there we go. So first of all, this is only from a couple of minutes ago, but I thought that's interesting is actually 55 billion withdraw from Credit Suisse before collapse. So that sounds a little bit what we have been experiencing in the crypto space, where you also had the withdrawals from founders or from members of these exchanges before the exchanges went down. I mean, it's almost already so much in the past with Bitcoin coming up again, but let's remind ourselves, we had the collapses of Three Arrows Capital from FTX in the end, but we also had, I think it was BlockFi, we had Voyager Capital, we had a lot of them going down in this massive contagion effect, and now we had some, I think some 5 banks in total, including the second biggest bank collapse ever, going down as well. And now we see this when the entire, let's say, normal stock related space and government related space, the investors in bonds and so on, were all finger pointing on the crypto space, that only such things can happen there. Now we see that happens in the normal space as well. Let's quickly look what happened and get this ad out of my face. Sorry for that, because of the new browser. I have all the ads around here now. Collapsed banking giant Credit Suisse says 61.2 billion Swiss francs left the bank in the first 3 months of the year. The announcement gives insight into the scale of the bank run that has caused. Okay, so it was not one transaction, so it's actually what happened has been taken out due to that bank run. So what also people tried to get out of the crypto exchanges. It came as the bank reported what is expected to be its last ever financial results. That's sad. It forced sale to rival Swiss bank UBS and so on. So we see here basically only the financial data that has been going on here with Credit Suisse before the collapse and before they were implemented into the balance sheet basically of UBS. Now the big thing is that UBS could technically also have problems like these crypto exchanges that bought out the other crypto exchanges. We remember that FTX has bought out several or assets or parts of other crypto exchanges before they themselves imploded. Yeah, so we see here also the reference to the Silicon Valley Bank. Credit Suisse clients started pulling money out of the bank after it was caught up in the market turmoil that followed the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank in the US in March. And this is 100% not only because they read the news about this, this is because there was big institutional clients in that bank as well. Second thing I found here was this one. About Web3, I thought this is interesting as well. Judge rules Bored Ape Yacht Club rip-off NFTs violated Yuga copyright. So use of Bored Apes Yacht Club trademarks by rips was intended to confuse consumers, a US judge in California has ruled. So they have launched NFTs that look just like the Bored Apes and people couldn't tell the difference, which is interesting for us in Ecomi and Veve, because that also means if that ruling sets precedents, that rip-offs of the first licensed collectibles can actually not only be identified via blockchain, but also there could be lawsuits by Disney against rip-off projects or by other brands that are onboarding officially on Veve by against these rip-off projects in space. So let's take a coffee here. So you see here, California is going in the frontier company behind the popular Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection, a legal victory in the form of partial summary judgment in its case against Ryder Rips. So that's a ripoff. Funny that the name is something like this. Yuga sued in June 2022, alleging that Rips and his associates were deliberately creating consumer confusion under the pretense of satire, generating millions in unjust profits while taking pride in the damage they caused to the BAYC with their allegations. The U.S. District Court for the Northern District California found that Yuga Labs owns the BAYC trademarks, which are valid and enforceable, and that the defendants used the BAYC marks referring to images to sell without Yuga Labs' consent in a manner likely to cause confusion with a similar product look. And that's important, I think, if it's a similar product look, because I don't think that this is valid against artists. We have seen, for example, I think it is Matt Gondek on the app that is using art that is referencing to, for example, a dead Mickey Mouse or something like that. I think that's not the case here. But if you really try to trick users into believing that this is the next big project, then this could be also very interesting. So let me know what you think about this and if this is any relevant for Veve in your opinion as well. Yuga Labs, in the end, argued that it should receive 200,000 in statutory damages. Sorry about that, for cyber squatting. However, the court dismissed this claim and declared that the determination of damages would be made during pending trial. So doesn't mean that damages are off the table. And if these damages turn out in the pending trial, if these damages turn out to be high enough, that also could set a pretty good case for actually Disney, Marvel, DC, and everyone else going against rip-off companies there. And that in turn, let me get to you back quickly, also means that basically, Veve is getting a strengthening or a strengthened position there in the market if they obviously can recover from what they are experiencing right now. Blaze is posting beer here. I don't know if it's time for beer already, but yeah, we'll see. Justin says Veve died. I think Veve did not die yet. On the contrary, I think everyone or every project has to pass through the pains of several challenges like this, also with their own community, which is why we need to address concerns, legitimate concerns, so that they can learn from what we are doing. And Veve Arcade is reacting to that. So let me get back into the news a little bit. We are just chilling, hanging out a little bit here and looking what's happening in the world. So this was also interesting to me. Argentina central bank hikes interest rate to 81% after inflation overshoot. So I get this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. So Argentina basically does not do these 0.25 or 0.5 rate hikes. They do way more, and they have rampant inflation, as we will read right now. Buenos Aires is already from April the 20th, so 4 days old, but I think it's still very relevant because this is an ongoing situation. Argentina's central bank hiked the benchmark interest rate a sharper than expected 300 basis points on Thursday. 300 basis points. Imagine this happened in somewhere in Europe or in the US, then I think Ecomi would, that's where you would see your 3,000 Bitcoin or so when this happened. After inflation soared past expectations in March and hit 104% on an annual basis, year over year inflation, 104%. I think in the US it's what, like 6 or 7%. In Germany, annual inflation was 7.8%. In the UK, if I'm not mistaken, annual inflation was around 10%. Inflation went down in the UK from 10.4 to 10.1%. So not really good yet, but far off of this. Then we see. So the board decided to reference rate 81% from its previous 78%, so 3% increase. March inflation data had clocked it at 7.7%, the highest monthly level in 2 decades. The hike extends a new round of tightening by Argentina's central bank, which is fighting soaring prices and dwindling foreign currency reserves. And this is bad. This is really bad because they are overall basically running out of money. So they cannot print any more money because inflation would go even more crazy, but they also do not have any money. And we will see right now what the reasons is. While the peso currency has hit record lows against the dollar in parallel markets, drought has battered exports of the country's main cash crops, soy and corn. So they do a lot of agriculture there. I have been there myself already. It's really a lot of flat land with a lot of crops. So soy and corn is their main export good, and the drought has caused basically these to go down. So even that doesn't help in the balance sheets. So the bank did this hike. Inflation has gained pace, driving poverty levels to 40%. So Argentina is really in a really bad spot in South America, way worse off than other countries. They are sitting, around Brazil, where I've been living a long time, and Uruguay, which is also exporting a lot of stuff. But Uruguay is more focusing on an approach like Switzerland, having a lot of banking stuff, and then parts of export of, I think it's meat and rice and stuff like that. So president is Alberto Fernandez. And this is the Peron oriented government. There is a conservative opposition, and there are polls right now that are already relevant for October elections, which is very interesting. So we will see what happens right now, because obviously usually countries tend to do something right before the elections, but obviously rate hikes are none of the things that really appease economy and people there. So yeah, I think Argentina, big crisis, and there's one thing that can help with this, and that is Bitcoin, obviously. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Is someone from Argentina here or something? But I think it's more in the night. Blaze says 4 p.m. here, definitely beer time. Yeah, so I actually had, and I will quickly try to open this while I'm in the face mode here. I had something pulled up here for I'm not even signed in on this browser in my Twitter account. So that's really bad, but I had pulled up something about the markets. Maybe I can copy the tweet out of my other account here. Give me a second here. Sorry for the really bumpy start. You see, I had markers in the articles and so on, and everything went down 5 minutes before the stream. So I'll do better by you guys for the next one. But yeah, I will try to get this to quickly find this here. I think I found it here. So just give me a second to copy this into the other browser, because I wanted to show something about Bitcoin here as well. And we are going to take a look at charts in a second. Even if I'm not logged in, I can show this to you as well. Oh, we got Luke in the house, so seems to be a good time for Luke here. Thank you for all the support that you're giving me over the times. Also, you guys saw the Dr. Profit AMA recap that I've done, and the German ones around of you or among you have seen the Dr. Profit AMA in full. Let me know about what you think about this. And we are going to take a quick look at the markets here now. I think that was a very interesting AMA though, because obviously it's always good to see how someone thinks that has so much money in the thing. No worries, drive to work. Okay, drive safe. Don't look at the screen. I think everything can be done by listening. Oh, Bavarian Dad bought Batman. So we have at least one that is from the state that I'm sitting in here as well. Glad to have you on the stream here. Seems to, for some people, I think the evening streams were not as good as the streams right now. So maybe the morning streams are going to become a thing here, but I'll have them prepared better, obviously, without a crashing browser. So let's take a quick look at the markets here, and let me actually start off with how the markets are looking right now. Why is that? Even that is not aligned as it should be. I'll just get the filters in here, layout. So let's look at the 90-day, the 1 year also, and not so much at the 1 hour. So yeah, that should do the trick. So yeah, live coin watch is pretty good in that sense. So there we go. We have why is the 7 day out there? So yeah, there we go. We have a Bitcoin that has basically, this is a big retracement. I mean, 7% down in 7 days. Now, in the 24 hours, we have a little bit of green. But while Bitcoin was retracing 7 to 8% and is still down on the year-over-year 30%, we have it up 20%, or we have everything green in the last 90 days. That is because we might have found our bottom in November. I think that could be the case, considering how long we are already staying above, and also considering the fact that Bitcoin dominance is starting to increase heavily right now. You see it also here. While Bitcoin is retracing 7%, Ethereum has taken a 11% hit, and we see it all across the altcoins here. 12% on ADA, 11% OKB, 11% Doge on the last week, 14%, 15% retracement on Solana that had started somewhat of a recovery, but you see it's still down bad. Polkadot, a coin that I like a lot, is still down bad. So I think that the altcoins, they are going to bleed hard against Bitcoin over the next, I don't know, maybe over the next year. So in terms of, I think that's also what whales are doing. Whales are accumulating, or have been accumulating Bitcoin. We will see that in a second, that they might be done with their main accumulations for the moment. And then probably when the first profits come in from that, in the bigger scale, they are dropping some things into the altcoins. But we see here also Chainlink's doing pretty good in comparison. Litecoin's doing pretty good in comparison. So we see overall the market is between, let's say, 5 and 15, even 20% down in the gutter. Next time I will have that top 100 for you to look at winners and losers here. But at the moment, I think that's the picture. And we should look at this a little bit also here in that Bitcoin chart. I have this outlined here on Bitstamp. I have marked this as the Bitcoin bottom 2022, which, from everything that we see right now, from flipping EMA ribbons, from coming above these moving averages, from the trend it's been following, it's becoming more likely by the day. And this fits perfectly with the halving rhythm as well. And if it's really the case that it all only depends about the halving, then this here is basically where we somehow should be, let's say, seeing a Bitcoin top or whatever. Let's see if that works out. I will leave this in here for all our streams, and we will see if price can work their way into Bitcoin top 2025. I mean, I just put that somewhere around $150,000 US. But we'll see if we can maybe work our way with a bigger retest here, and then go full moon mode after the halving, or if that's basically just another relief rally, as some people believe, and we roll over and lose all levels and go to sub 10K Bitcoin. That remains to be seen. We see that on the weekly, RSI is overheated. So I think this correction is not over. I think that we are going to correct over the next weeks lower. So I think that we have a retracement until some moving average here, or even until this maybe not the trend line, but maybe something like this here, some critical support before we come up again. I don't think that we can take out we can. I mean, it happens if Taiwan gets taken, or something else really bad happens there, then I think that there's always possibility to put in new lows from a black swan perspective, like we had seen that for Bitcoin as well here in the health crisis crash, where this should have been the bottom. Or actually, I mean, it overshot here, but it didn't take out that bottom. So even then, it didn't We are in the logarithmic chart, by the way. Did it take out the bottom? No, it didn't. So yeah, at least on Bitstamp it didn't. So actually, yeah, that's not the log. So now it's non-logarithmic. Let me just check that quickly. But I think it didn't. Whoops. It's in drawing mode here. Sorry. Actually, no, it didn't. So yeah, there was not even a wick that wicked out the bottom there from before. So I like looking at the logarithmic chart because why did it crumble now? Because it just puts the gains more in perspective. And what I found really interesting is that from that last bull run, last bear market, there was some kind of a squeeze like here, like this. Then it broke out, retested, and went into the new rally. And I was thinking to myself, looking at this trend line here already, what if we do not retrace so hard yet and just continue to rally a little bit more? What if we would form something like this here and we would rally? Let's say we would rally, recovering, everyone gets super excited. We come back, we rally again, form something like this, break out, and go into the next. What if we just rinse and repeat this? It's just a thought, but so we would come out from here, from our bottom, test, get back, crash. Maybe this would have been already some kind of a breakout and a longer retest here without the C crisis. But what if we just, I mean, this is not drawn perfectly, so don't get me on this, but just thinking a little bit out loud here, what if we just went up here, test, come back down, bottom like here, come up a little more, define this 2 touches here and 1 touch here. Really, this is nothing from a TA perspective that you really can draw in. I'm just trying to be creative about what could happen, right? So if we get another touch here, then we have 1, 2, 3, something like that. Even we could judge this one, I don't know, and then break out and go to our moon mission, right? But that's just a thought. We don't draw this in here right now, but you heard it here first. So yeah, let me think. Let me hear about what you think right now. Crazy Dan says it's a half an hour before midnight here on the west coast of Canada. So greetings to Canada. Hope you have a great evening. While I do the morning coffee, and Andrew Weitkamp asks, are you going to Comic-Con Dortmund? Remind me again of the, actually I will try, Comic-Con Dortmund. I've no plans yet because this year was absolutely crazy for me in terms of job and German Comic-Con. So, and also Veve is not going to be there, but I know that a lot of people from the Veve family, it's actually 6th to 7th of May. That is very short notice, and as I knew that it was happening somewhere there, so I cannot really wiggle my way out of that, but I'm probably not going to be there just of all the craze that is going on with my new apartment and in the job and so on. So probably not going to be there. Maybe there is an option to do it last minute. I don't know if tickets are already sold out. I know that there is a Telegram group to organize that. I'm in that one and looking at it. But yeah, no commitment yet from my side to this one. Let's also have a quick look. Yeah, first of all, I'm going to pull up that that chart, that tweet here that that Mustache put out about Bitcoin, because I think that's interesting and that's something that is relevant right now. So there you go. So yeah, as you can see here, Mustache says, smart money is done accumulating BTC. I told you a few weeks ago that once QQE is bigger than 0, that accumulation ends. We always saw a strong bull run afterwards, and bears are happy about a few red candles. So yeah, that retracement, obviously, in comparison to what we have recovered right now, is nothing to base yet lower lows on. But yeah, as you can see here, so that's the entire logarithmic chart of Bitcoin, compared also basically with a, yeah, let's say an it looks like somewhat like an RSI accumulation index, and as you can see here, the black arrows are pointing on this turning point that we had in after every bear market low. And there was also a red phase that really didn't happen in 2011 in this indicator, but here we have that extensively in 2015. We have it a little bit in 2019, and we had it right now. And now we have this flip here. And whenever it flipped, only in 2011, it reflipped to the downside once again. But and here during the C crash, right? It flipped to the downside where in an unexpected event. So that can happen. But now it flipped back. And we also see here with the trend lines that once the trend is broken and retested, so you see here trend broken, retested, off to the next bull run. Trend broken, retested, off to the next bull run. And here we have it again, trend broken. Basically, if you draw out this line, you would have a huge retest, or you have this little retest here. I think he means that little retest, but you could maybe even rate this as a big retest. And now we have this trend broken, already retested, and now it went up. Maybe you have another retracement there onto the line, but yeah, we could be off to the next bull run, and that means that we, in my opinion, that means that it also, the narrative of Bitcoin has never experienced rate hiking environment, tightening politics from the Fed, and so on. If that proves to be irrelevant in that sense, only that the extent to how much it went down because of all the crashes, if that proves to be wrong, that would be really good, because then bears have to find another narrative. I'm not talking about the ones that were bearish in the downtrend and now are flipping bullish again, for example, that are just moving with the market. But there are people that are perma bears out there, that they don't care if Bitcoin is 100,000 or at 3,000, they are always bearish, right? So they would have to find another narrative. Carl says, yo, love your videos. Thank you, Carl. Means a lot to me. And I'm trying to bring out more content for you guys, because as you have seen in the last, I think, 1.5 months, I've only put out content like once a week, which is not what I want to do for the long term. I want to put out way more content. And Herterd says, sir, hand orange covering eyes, hand pink. Okay, so that is probably emojis that I cannot see for some reason here, but thank you for that. Yeah, I will see that probably later when I rewatch this. Also, I'm trying to put in chapters now. You have seen that in the Dr. Profit AMA, I've put in chapters for each and every question that was asked to Dr. Profit. And so you can really find the questions that interest you. So once this morning coffee thing here is processed, I will also go ahead and do that. Then there was news about Bored Apes. I will have to find. I would remember that right now. I wanted to show you that. So this is very interesting also for some of you that are asking why your crypto portfolio or your NFT portfolio is still losing. And I mean, we have looked at bleeding altcoins, so it's not only the NFT portfolio, but we also have this one here. Let me get this to you quickly. Yeah, Bored Apes CryptoPunks fall below 100K as NFT momentum stalls. Blue chip NFT projects are losing value as some trading metrics across NFT marketplaces fell to nearly 2-year lows. So, with all the FUD and all the legitimate concerns and everything that is going on with Veve, we have to see that even the blue chip ones, CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, and all the blue chip NFTs are losing in value and are going to new lows. So this is something that is a trend in the overall NFT market and cannot be discarded. So this is very recent news. This is from 2 days ago. And yeah, as we can read here, floor prices for blue chip NFT collection, CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club both fell below $100,000 worth of ETH this week for the first time in months, as the broader NFT market slumped to trading stats not seen in years. So there is always on Twitter this narrative that basically Veve NFTs would be the only one that are losing and bleeding. And that is not the case. And I think the reason for this, and we are really out here in new waters, because there has never been a bear market end with such an NFT space, where after seeing for the first time real high prices for or bubble-like prices for NFTs, right? So this is the first time, and my theory is that you have Bitcoin, you have the big cap blue chip altcoins, then you have mid cap altcoins, small cap altcoins, micro cap altcoins, and only there below that you have NFTs in the ranking of what's a risky investment and what's not. So right now, and I think a lot of the whales are really aware of this. So it makes sense for some whales to liquidate Bored Ape Yacht Club or CryptoPunks. There's also maybe individual holders that are scared that they could lose out on this massive profit. So they really want to take that $100,000 or $90,000, $80,000 instead of sitting and riding it to zero. Maybe they are scared. So there's still this bleeding out in that market. But for the whales, for the smart money, it's more of take 100,000 out, move it into ETH directly because you're probably selling in ETH on OpenSea or wherever. This CryptoPunk or this Bored Ape or this Mutant Ape, and then shift this money into large and big. And I think in this main category, there's Bitcoin and Ethereum. And right now, what we're seeing is that a lot of money gets taken out. Initial profits from this little relief rally in the altcoins gets taken out and moved into stablecoin and then into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever, or some profits are also leaving the table. And then from there, we will have them riding to that Bitcoin top. And then from there, they are going to drop money into the bigger altcoins and then into smaller altcoins and then into the mid and small caps, into the micro caps. And from there, they are going to, with all these overshot profits, they are going to put money then into NFTs. So expect NFTs to bleed for another year. And while that is happening, if you are convinced of whatever NFT project, that could be the accumulation phase. So for me, this year right now is looking at altcoins, mid cap, small cap, really taking your time for the next months to do some research, find some altcoins that really can do 100 or 1000x that might be still down really bad from wherever they've started, and also find some NFTs. And if you're only in Veve, hey, who knows? We'll see. There's no need to rush into NFTs right now. We'll see how Veve is performing in the next days. Some people have days in the next weeks, in the next months. I've said it myself. I'll give Veve until the crypto halving, until the Bitcoin halving, to show milestones. And if we have them by then, yeah, then I'm going to allocate more money. But I've not sold anything. I'm accumulating here and there. But I think this news here right there shows you that what's happening inside the Twitter bubble is not the whole picture, the whole story. Though the NFTs have rebounded somewhat, it currently costs 49.8 ETH, 93,000 to acquire a CryptoPunk, according to NFT price floor. While it's still a pretty penny, that's down more than 30% from just a month ago. So they have bled 30% from just a month ago, which cannot be said for all of the grails on Veve. I mean, if you look partner statue or something, I think they have bled like 10 to 15%. When the cheapest CryptoPunk on the market could be had for just over 128,000 worth of just over 120,000 worth of ETH. It's a similar story for Bored Apes, celebrity-friendly flagship project from NFT behemoth Yuga Labs. That right there is just had to point this out. That right there is like the biggest accumulation of standard phrases. The celebrity-friendly flagship project from the behemoth. Like how many? Sorry, I misclicked here. How many things you can get in here? Aping into the collection. I like that one. Aping into the collection currently costs at least 49 ETH, about 92,000. Purchasing a Bored Ape hasn't required such little ETH since November 21. So in November 21, together with the Bitcoin bottom, they have found a first low, and now they have found another low, which is crazy. So now you have to look how bad we are down here, right? So since mid-April, daily trades across all NFT marketplaces have plummeted an astonishing 71%, which we can also refer to from Veve, right? According to Dune Analytics, that decreases in activity has been incremental and consistent across platforms. Such a low tally of NFT trades, just shy of 20,000 on Thursday, has not been seen since 21. So here we see it, the decrease in that NFT space. So that's that's down bad, right? And reasons for the recent drop-off remain unclear. I don't think that it's unclear. It's exactly that what I've said before, that NFTs are part of the crypto space and they follow the same trend as altcoins. Ethereum post-Shanghai price lift did slow this week, but cryptocurrency of all largest NFT markets still looking relatively strong, clocking in at about $1.845 thousand per CoinGecko. That's nothing too good here. One specific factor disproportionately responsible for recent rosy headlines about the enduring strength of NFT marketplace has been the rise of Blur, a relatively new NFT trading platform that rapidly overtook OpenSea and so on, blah, 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 which is pretty good because Blur giving some competition there to OpenSea means that actually in terms of liquidity, the NFT market will be way stronger when we are going back into the bull market. And by the way, guys, what also plays a role here is that basically Disney has shut down the metaverse department. Meta has shut down the metaverse department or the metaverse stuff because they were bleeding so much money. And Meta shutting down their division, I mean, that's a bold move for someone that rebranded to Meta and then shutting down the reason why they rebranded once and for all. I don't know if they're just doing this to save quickly money and then reopen it right away, or if they are going to backbrand to Facebook, something like that. I don't know. Nevertheless, I think it's wrong to backbrand. But they had to do something because otherwise their stock would be basically falling onto the floor. Yeah, so here we go. Though the NFT marketplace surged in February and in March to about 2 billion in total trading, which is a lot, 2 billion is a lot, each month, that growth has almost entirely fueled by volume from Blur, that some industry experts have labeled as manipulated wash trading, which is nothing new in that space, right? But yeah, activity on Blur, yada, yada. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. Oh, there's a lot of comments here. Let me get back quickly to you. Yeah, it was me with the wrong profile. And yes, it was an emoji. Okay. So welcome to the stream, Arcade. Good to see you here. Where is PH based at now? Still in around Munich, but in a bigger apartment. I've been living in a one-room apartment for the better of almost 4 years to save a lot of money and put it into investments. And now I have been going to a little bit more here. Why are you why are you living at Asia time zone? It's actually not. It's almost 9 in the morning in Germany. I'm going to head into the hamster wheel, in short, and create some bucks here for me. But I really thought, hey, I could hang out with you guys in the morning and see what's happening. Duki says, Dukin Cuva says, morning, mate. Morning to you. And we have Caro in the chat right now as well, which is also great to see you. If you are from the German Veve fam, you should definitely be in the German Telegram group as well. I think it's called Veve Deutschland. So there there need to be. I just woke up at 2 p.m. So it for you woke up for my stream or what? I hope not. But we are going to do this more often. If you enjoy this, please smash a like on this one. Even though I was really late today, I'm trying to do it at 8 a.m. CET Central European Time. To get 1 hour or so with the markets. What about the burning? I read somewhere that it is not relevant anymore for some reason. The burning of the Ecomi token. Apparently, the burning of the Ecomi token is not relevant anymore because they are going to move that entire stack that they had within the app towards the burn wallet anyways in the end. And maybe this is has something to do with the new MCP OUP program. But I'm more excited about burning collectibles anyways than burning OMI tokens. I really hope that this mug is not going out of business one day. But yeah, that would be bad because on that low prices, we could burn quite a bit of OMI. Yeah, but if they would move the entire remaining whatever 200 billion OMI or 180 billion OMI tokens to the burn wallet anyways, so that it doesn't come into circulation and start doing the mechanics from the circulating supply, then in my opinion, there shouldn't be too much trouble there. Good morning from Finland. Oh man, that's awesome. We have someone from Finland here. Let me know where you are tuning in from. We have around 20 people in the space here. Smash the like button also if you enjoy this format. I'm trying to do that more often. For now, I have a Monday morning coffee session here, but if you enjoy this, if you would be here tomorrow as well, maybe I just schedule another one for tomorrow already. That means for me getting up more than 1 hour earlier than usually just to get the stream going. But I pretty much enjoy this. If my computer wouldn't have crashed on me, I wouldn't have to do it in such a clumsy way. But I still hope you got some good information out of that, these articles that I found here. So, but I think this one with the Bored Apes is really good. It's good to look outside of your Veve and Ecomi bubble to see what's happening because I mean, we see that altcoins are down bad, really bad. Actually, we didn't look at the Ecomi chart yet. I really wanted to show you why or how we collapsed so far. I mean, everyone knows why, because Ecomi token just doesn't have liquidity. But let me get this up here first. Dukan Kuva says, Switzerland here, mate, but the French part, so gotta watch your English stuff. Yeah, actually, I only have English stuff. There is no German channel from me. There are other German channels. I only do it in English for everyone out there, which is why I translated that Dr. Profit AMA also for you guys. Since you have the insight, could you explain that thing with the burning a little bit more in detail? I did not get it. Burning of collectibles or burning of Ecomi? Actually, I do not have a lot more insight than that is already out there. I just heard that they wanted to redesign the OUP and MCP as one, which means that probably, I mean, there's a reason that no one talks about anymore about the burns. And I overheard them saying something like that all the burns that are happening within the business wallet or this wallet structure that we had seen before, that this is irrelevant basically. But I will dig deeper into this, and maybe tomorrow morning we can talk about it. So because I don't want to tell anything that is only half truth. So give me some time to dig deeper into that, and then we So Omi token burning I was referring to. So let me look into that a little bit more, and tomorrow in the morning we talk about this. Let's take a quick look at Omi, where we are. So Omi is also down really bad. I think everyone knows what this means, right? So we had this month-long support. This is the weekly chart. We had this month-long support here. We see that volume has been only decreasing. We had massive sale volume here at this dump when we hit our overhead resistance here, and now we've created several other levels of overhead resistance, and now we are basically we have lost this level. So don't get fooled by this rally here, because we see that there has been a higher quantity of purchases here, right? Some volume, but as long as we cannot reclaim this trapdoor, I would really call it trapdoor, and we fell. That's what's going to happen here is basically we fell through it. We found a psychological level, and we could come back up for retesting this. And if we cannot reclaim it, then we would just, let me draw this a little bit better. I'm here with a touchpad, so really unprepared. So this is what could be happening for Ecomi. Why? Because first of all coins are bleeding to Bitcoin right now, and so is Omi. Omi doesn't go up with the rest of the market, but it sure as hell goes down with the rest of the market. And the reason for that is we're not on exchanges. We do not have utility. There's no volume behind that, no marketing behind that, no exposure, no coverage behind that. So basically, you're in the worst spot with Ecomi right now. So there's no need to rush into the token. If we cannot reclaim that level by some whale power coming in, we'll see lower prices. And then we really talk about next trying to hold this 0005 mark. And that's going to hurt. But on the other hand, that's also going to create, if they were to deliver on a really good thing for like Omi to NFT plus one exchange, that would be the turnaround, right? And the reason, the question is, how long will it take them to implement it, and will they be capable of implementing it? Because we have seen that Omi utility program articles are out there since I'm making YouTube, and I'm in YouTube for what, 1.5 years right now with Ecomi and Veve. So yeah, that's what we see right now. So yes, we have this huge recovery, but you see also when we tested this level, we had a recovery, we hit some resistance, we came back, tested it again, failed, and fell through the trapdoor. So that's what basically happening. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. They're not doing buybacks, so they're gonna burn the entire reserve wallet. So yeah, that's what I figured. And burning that reserve wallet is fine for me. And I think MCP OUP articles that merge is somehow having a mechanic where if you buy with Omi to NFT, that a little parcel of that purchase Omi that is going into the gems is going to go out of circulation to the burn wallet, which then will have a deflationary effect on the circulating supply of Ecomi. So Ecomi is in a bad spot. On the other hand, it could be a very degenerate play here to have some Ecomi, to still stack some Ecomi. I'm really thinking about that. I've not been purchasing Ecomi since 0.00 since 0007. I've purchased some Ecomi there, so brought myself to 2 million Omi. I told you guys before, but I'm going to repeat it. I'm 8 times heavier in Veve collectibles than in Ecomi. Just because I think, and Dr. Profit also said that in his AMA, that Veve collectibles are the safer play because they are probably around even if Veve would fail. Right now, obviously, if Veve would fail, we would lose probably the access to our collectibles. But on the other hand, if they brought something like self-custody, interoperability, whatever, then Veve collectibles are the safer play. On the other hand, Dr. Profit said 2 days ago in that AMA that he believes that only like if you choose of the bigger brands 20 different collectibles, that 3 or so would outperform Ecomi in any way, but in the other cases it would not. So my bet is a little bit more on that safer play, on that safer side for these, especially for comics and secret rare comics. I really bet that they are going to do very well in the next NFT bull run. But I'm also stacking some OMI on the side. So I've not given up on the project, as you see, but I have the obligation to not sit here and just chill everything to you, but I have to present concerns, right? I think that's what you can expect from me. Yeah, let's finally, before we, because it's already 9, I need to go. Let me just take a quick look what's new here for Veve collectibles. Let's take a little bit of a look here. So we are getting today this comic. I'm not the first appearance of Punisher. I'm not entirely sure if I should take 20 gems to participate in this, but obviously if you hit the secret rare on this, then it's going to be big. There's also a comic coming. There's also, what is it here? The one for one auction coming here from Greg Land for that black and white cover here. Ghost Spider, yeah, Gwen is the Ghost Spider. So more 1-of-1 NFTs. Actually, Veve should be doing more coverage for how much these sold. Yesterday we had the black and white. It didn't sell out. I think Veve didn't get the message yet that they need to reduce at least one of these pieces in edition sizes to create a little bit more excitement about this. So yeah, it didn't sell out. I think the ultra rare where everyone went for 30 gems, so 20 below retail. So could be a thing to complete the set there. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I always like the black and white stuff. But that's it. Let me know if you're getting this comic. But I think that's everything. We are going to cover this in a separate session here. But yeah, let me know how you feel about these collectibles. Are you still going for collectible drops or not? Yeah. Do you own a vault? Unfortunately not. Was always too expensive for me, and I'd rather take the chance then for some secret rare comics that are way scarcer than even vault. So maybe there's more upside. But if a vault is coming down to, let's say, 1,000 in that direction, or even dropping below 1,000, if that would ever be the case during the next year, then I will for sure get one. Harbringer says, hey, what's going on, Harbringer? Good morning from the office. So yeah, I'm heading to the office as well. So I'm going to be out here in a minute. Guys, it was a pleasure to hang out with you guys. If you like this format, let me know in the comments below. Check out the timestamps if you want to go back to a specific topic once this video is processed. Subscribe to my channel if you are not yet. And have a good day at work. Have a great start into the week, everyone. Wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and see you in the next live stream.